Welcome to my final project, which seeks to train staff in the new curriculum I designed for a mandatory first-year English course called Professional English. Let me start by telling you a little bit about the project, its objectives, and the audience, and then I'll show you what I created. So I created a Google community to train staff on this new curriculum that starts in the upcoming semester. In order to do this, I provided multimedia to explain the technology integration, which is new to some of the staff and many of the students, I expect. To do that, I used Google Sheets, Google Docs, tutorials, explainer videos using animation and screencasting, and also an infographic. The Google community provides a location for cooperative learning so that staff can add their own ideas and ask questions to each other and myself. So the audience is about 30 international professors from 5 different English-speaking countries. We have America, Canada, England, South Africa, and New Zealand. So it's a lot of different personalities, a lot of different backgrounds, what kind of education they experienced, a lot of different age groups. So I had to consider those characteristics as I designed this community. So the objectives were to introduce the staff to the course and its curriculum, the objectives that they need to get students to achieve, and the technology that I have designed and integrated into the curriculum. Also need to show how Google Community supports student learning. Another objective is to describe the student portfolios, which include building a company website using Google Sites and making introductory videos and advertisements and personal statements. Finally, one of the objectives is just to help staff locate the resources available to them in the shared Google Drive and other areas. This project meets the standards for coaches, which is the role that I see myself in currently. It shows staff how they can build blended learning environments for their students and the benefits of that. And it also develops a professional development arena for them to engage with, add to, build upon, and it has the potential for growth beyond this curriculum. Okay, now let me show you what I built. This should look familiar to you. It's a Google community. We are using a book called Business Plus, and I used that image for the community image so that staff know that this curriculum is related to that, and that they can do the same for their students when they create their own communities for their class. Let me just take you through it quickly. Down here on the left, the About Community has a short description of why the staff is participating in this. In it, we have several links. This is the sample syllabus I adapted from previous semesters, includes the objectives, evaluation, attendance, and a short section on the student portfolio, along with the link that the staff will need to change to add students to their Google communities, as well as finally a weekly schedule. Of course, this is just a resource that staff can adapt to their own classrooms and pedagogical style. Have a more detailed list for the student portfolios that need to be completed during the semester. Each week there's an assignment that is completed in student groups. We have links to the publishing company's PowerPoints that match the textbook. Those are hosted in our drive, so that'll take you there. And then I have a curriculum map that identifies the units of the book and the portfolio learning task. As you can see, we don't go chronologically with the textbook. We look at it as a tool. And for each of these weeks, week 1, week 2, we have learning objectives that need to be met. At the midterm, there's a rubric for the portfolio, and I need to add another rubric for the midterm spoken assessment, which is a group presentation. So there's still more to be done. So, filter, I have created an area for questions and answers with a quick description of what can happen in that section. I've added some tutorial videos, and brief descriptions of what they are and how long they are. This one is for how they should set up their own Google communities for their classroom, and this one is for students to participate in the Google community. Also good for faculty to watch in order to troubleshoot and guide students in the first couple weeks. I also added a couple resources here. One is the Powtoon that I made for assignment 4, describing how the face-to-face and online portions of this curriculum blend together and how students should proceed. Just walks them through the benefits of using Google Communities to support student learning and student portfolios and the relationship between their classroom, their face-to-face sessions, and this online community. I also wanted to address devices in the classroom. Some teachers are reluctant to use those, and in a previous course, I had outlined a bring your own device policy for the university classrooms, and I wanted to make it a little more compelling and direct, so I changed it into a infographic using Canva. This was designed with a colleague that I teach with, and we came up with some basic rules that can standardize the device use in teachers' classrooms. For both of these, I also used it as an opportunity to introduce tools that teachers can use in their classrooms. Canva and Powtoon both could be used in the student portfolio project for advertising or doing a introduction video. I also have included a sample student portfolio submission from last semester when I was first beginning to experiment with this as a possibility. I had students in another class build a company website, and so this is an example of what could be accomplished for staff to take a look at. This group of students really ran with it. They added a lot more than was necessary, but it has the basic elements: company history, vision, the personnel, and products and services. This is just something that staff can reference so they know what it looks like, and I plan to walk students through how to build a Google site in the upcoming weeks. Okay, so along this side we have each week's assignment with a due date. The due dates, of course, can be changed by staff, and also a quick comment by myself, which includes what needs to be done by the students, what target language we're using from the textbook, and just an area for staff to comment on and utilize, copy and paste into their own Google communities. Have I met my objectives? It's hard to tell yet. I think that I've laid out a good some good groundwork for staff to get a feel for it. The semester starts at the beginning of March, And currently I only have about half the staff in this community, so I'm going to send out a reminder email to those teachers who have not joined yet. This was created at the end of the semester when grading needed to be completed, so there's a lot on teachers' minds. Also, they're going to be traveling. Many of them travel during the winter holiday. I have heard positive feedback from the staff members who have participated and have started to watch the videos, and I think that they feel supported. I have led a face-to-face overview session before opening the community, and I also plan to lead a training Q&A session before the semester starts. That's all I think I need to show you about the project. I'm going to spend a little bit more talking about my reflection. Okay, so as I've been working on this project, I have learned a lot. The first thing I learned is that it's going to take a lot longer than I expected, especially when creating my own tutorial videos. Those take a lot longer. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. Getting those right and shared takes a long time. Another area for reflection is how big a part planning has been, laying out these different aspects, like I talked about in the beginning, the multimedia, as well as the descriptions of the course. There's a lot more to do in terms of training staff, but also supporting students with these new tools. The last one is personalities. This is something that I've been dealing with. I mentioned that there's a lot of different backgrounds and experiences from the staff, and some are reluctant to use this much technology, and I know who they are, but I've kind of just been avoiding the problem, and I think that I need to put a friendly face and directly contact some of them and see if I can get them on board. So what's the big takeaway? I would say that training in any form is ongoing, iterative. I'm definitely have a lot more to do with this site, and I'm sure that as staff join more and more, they're going to be interacting with it as it gets closer to the beginning of the semester. So I'm sure that they will identify some needs. It's been really exciting and challenging, and I'm not drained, but I think you need to take a step away sometimes and refresh your perspective. Anyway, that's the end of this presentation on the final project. I want to say thank you to Dr. Becking and all my classmates who have joined in this process. Couldn't have done it without their feedback and guidance, and I wish everyone luck in the future. Thanks. Bye.